Coming up on Sun News, the daughter of a murdered Sri Lankan dignitary demands justice. The arms race is on. Pakistan launches a long-range missile capable of carrying nuclear power just days after India. And meet Nancy Powell, the first female to be named ambassador to India. Hello, I'm Esther Vida. Welcome to Sun News, bringing you news, views, and entertainment from the South Asian community in the United States. The daughter of a slain Sri Lankan presidential advisor and former lawmaker says she received death threats because of her determination to seek justice for her father. Hironika Premachandra has been publicly vocal on the court's slow action regarding her father, Bharatha Lakshman Premachandra's case. Bharatha was killed last October when a gunfight broke out between his security guard and ruling parliamentarian Dominda Silva and his guards. The two men have reportedly been political and business rivals for years, even though they are from the same party. Silva is still being treated for gunshot wounds to his head at a hospital in Singapore. Earlier this month, a warrant was issued for his arrest. Along with Bharatha, two other bodyguards were also killed and dozens of people were injured during this election day gun battle last year. It's an issue that has ignited ire among many Sri Lankans around the world. What you're watching now is recent video of Premachandra and her supporters smashing coconuts outside Sri Lanka capital Colombo's magistrate courts. This is a sort of demonstration, it's a protest, and it's also asking the gods to punish those who killed her father and have threatened Premachandra's life. Hironika Premachandra talked to Boston Lanka host Bayoni D. Mel from Sri Lanka about her father and why her family is so disappointed with the government's slow move in arresting and prosecuting those responsible for her father's murder.
My world with my father, and his loss is, I can't bear it. That's why I'm not, this is not an act, or this is not a way of getting the media's attention or anything like that. This is my love. This is what this is how I can, because I'm really disappointed, I'm very sad and very angry about what's happening in this country. That's why I'm talking like this. I am pleading for justice. I'm demanding for justice because I lost everything. I feel like I lost everything. Now I don't have much to lose, only probably my life. But I wouldn't stop fighting because my father was my God. My father was my everything.
You have said that if justice is not being done, the people will rise up. Do you think it would really happen? The government is very strong and they do not tolerate the dissent much.
I believe at least the Corona people will rise up. I proved it yesterday. I proved that we still have people. I don't know about the country, but I know that Corona people will rise up because they lost. It's not that we lost our father. More than that, actually, they lost their savior. They lost their leader. My father wasn't just a politician. He was a social worker. So I have faith in that, but in this country, to be honest, now I've got that dead just because I'm pleading for justice. So obviously, this country, gun, power, money rules everything. But I have to say, once the people actually rise up, everything will change. But that I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but one day it will happen.
And now, Hironika, I am sure you know that lots of people in Sri Lanka and abroad are supporting you and want to see justice be done for your father. Do you have anything to say to all those people?
What I really want to say to those people who live in other countries overseas, that one day this will change, but I don't know when. But we all have to rise up even though those people are in other countries, we all have to rise up as a country and help because this is our country. This is not one man country. This is not a any kind of dictatorship. We can't let that happen to our country. So as a country, as people, we have to rise up to change the system. That's what I think. If we don't change the system, we cannot do anything. If we don't change people's attitude in this country, we cannot do anything. It's all about changing the system. It's all about appointing the right person to the parliament, appointing because it's all in our hand. Once we get to vote those people, if we do it intelligently, then we can change.
Last week, the magistrate hearing the case in the capital of Colombo directed the Criminal Investigation Department to expedite the investigation of the murder. Now, earlier I spoke to Dr. Trishanta Nyanyakara, a former Harvard professor from Sri Lanka who now teaches at King's College in London, about why this story is so important. Dr. Nyanyakara, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Help us put this into perspective. Why is it what Hironika doing so unique? Why is it so courageous? Help us put it into perspective.
I think there are several things in her courage. Like one thing is apparently she's fighting for the rights of late father, who was a very prominent political figure in Sri Lanka, and he was a presidential advisor too. And then he got shot, and then suddenly the law of the land was not fair on his father. There's a suspect who is also he's sort of a presidential advisor, but he is a very controversial figure, Domingo Silva, and he is getting treatment, and some newspapers say at the expense of the government, and he's in a different country now, and then he got leave from the parliament, and it is not usually given to a suspect.
Now explain this. They were in the same party.
Baraka. Yeah, same party. Like before. I think until recently, Mr. Domingo Silva was in another party, United National Party, and he crossed over to the PA, the People's Alliance Party, and now they are in the same party.
So this would be, so is this a usual thing? Is this unusual? In the United States, you have some rifts within the party, but this is a little extreme.
It is a little extreme. I mean, in Sri Lanka, the present government, the party is consisting of groups having very diverse views. What happened in the last general election was the President Mahinda Rajapaksa's party did not get 2/3 majority. He was very close to that, and then somehow a miracle happened. People from the opposition started to cross over. People said they would vote, but it started to cross over in huge numbers, and then now they have a 2/3 majority in the parliament, and this is one of them who crossed over.
Now it's been 6 months since his murder, and Hironika says that it's taking so long. Why do you think it's taking so long? It sounds like they have a number of witnesses, at least 20 suspects.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is the point. I think this is the point we have to fight as citizens of Sri Lanka. In the working of the law is really asymmetric. Like if something happens to the president or his close allies, the law is really fast, and then it's very efficient and very quick. And if something happens to opponent, the law suddenly becomes very slow, and then it zigzags a lot, and then the Attorney General's department plays tricks. So this is not really good. There's the general impression that the rule of law has deteriorated a lot.
And finally, why do you think that Hironika is so concerned or afraid about going to the international community about this?
I think she is afraid of the current political trend that you make one mistake, you can be overnight you can be labeled as a traitor, or you are either a patriot or a traitor. So if you touch the international domain, it's very easy to say that you are an agent of the imperialist or Western imperialist, which is a well-established brand now. It's a political brand and a weapon that has been used against anybody who goes beyond the borders to seek help. This is true in Sarath Fonseca's case, where his daughter sought like international help to release her father, and then immediately she was branded as a traitor because she sought outside help. But which is very, very questionable, because the government itself depends on the IMF, and there's so many foreign aids. But people cannot go beyond borders to seek help. I mean, in 1980s, the president himself went to the United Nations Human Rights Council to pass a resolution against the Sri Lankan government for violating human rights, freedom of expression. So when it comes to his human rights, it is human rights. Others' human rights, it is not human rights. And then going beyond borders, human rights are universal. It is not a local thing. But it's this well-established brand that if you go out to seek help, you are a traitor. And once you are a traitor, there's a set menu following you. So Hironika must be really afraid of that. It's really strange how it works. So she knows it, and then that's why she's trying to avoid it.
Fascinating. Dr. Nyanya Kara, thank you so much for your time. We'll keep you updated on this story. A native of India and a Boston University graduate student was shot to death in Alston on April 19th. 24-year-old Kanagala Sheshadri Rao is described as a kind-hearted and gifted business student who loved computer games. Rao's body arrived in his native home, Orissa, India, and received by his father, mother, and younger brother. According to IndiaWest.com, the Raos mortgaged their home in India to allow their son to study in the United States, and younger brother Sandeep has also been awarded a scholarship to study in the U.S., but reportedly the parents are reluctant to let their only son come for fears of losing another child to violence in the United States. Some in the Indian community and also in the media have questioned whether this was a hate crime, but police say that they do not believe it was. In a letter, University President Robert Brown wrote that he is deeply saddened and outraged about the incident. He adds, quote, "Obviously, this crime raises understandable concerns about safety and security. While this murder occurred outside our campus area, we want to assure you that we work continuously with the City of Boston to address safety and security concerns in the neighborhoods that surround our campus. We are already working with Boston Police to increase patrols in the neighborhood where this crime took place," end of quote. And a candlelight vigil was held for Rao by the Indian community in Boston over the weekend. Now, police have not found a motive nor have announced a suspect in the killing. Pakistan successfully tested a ballistic missile capable of carrying nuclear power just days after India launches its own long-range missile. Pakistan's Hat Shaheen 1A ballistic missile could hit parts of India, while India's Agni 5 is capable of carrying nuclear payloads as far as Beijing or Shanghai. Now, you should know the relationship between the neighboring countries have been severely strained for decades. Some of the main points of contention includes trade, and who controls the Himalayan territory of Kashmir and claims of terrorism. India has long time blamed Pakistani-based groups for plotting the 2008 Mumbai attack that killed at least 166 people. But recently, the leaders of the two countries met to discuss trade and other issues. Pakistani President Asif Ali Zardari and Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh have pledged to fight extremism and improve trade relations. The first female to be named U.S. Ambassador to India arrived in New Delhi this week. Nancy Powell was a diplomat in India between 1992 and 1995. She has also served as ambassador to Pakistan and to Nepal. Prior to her new appointment, she was Director General of the Foreign Service. Here's part of a video and what she said in that video released by the embassy before her arrival in India.
I'm looking forward to experiencing firsthand the dynamism of India's society, democracy, and economy. I plan to be a frequent flyer to all corners of India, enjoying your famous hospitality, and hope to be able to connect with you in person and through all the new media now in India. And I'm looking forward to leading the United States mission team in New Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, and Mumbai. The Americans and Indians who work at the embassy and consulates are engaged in promoting economic growth in both countries and expanding our defense relationship, addressing common global threats, and encouraging cooperation that can benefit our countrymen and women. I'm impressed with how much deeper and broader Indian-American relations have become, and how much greater role India now plays in addressing the world's challenges. At the same time, the rock-solid foundation of our relationship, our shared democratic values and respect for individual freedom, has not changed.
That is our show for this week. If you have any ideas for stories or any comments, email me at esther@bostonlanka.com. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.